This podcast is sponsored by slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com, New Hampshire Vape Gallery, and naturalbossnh.com. More on that later. Let's get into episode 91. Talking with Topher. Talking with Topher. Talking with Topher. What is happening, TwT fans? I'm so excited to be back. I mean, 2021's almost behind us. It's super exciting, and I always get excited for a new year. It feels like you kind of get to, I don't know, you don't start over, but you feel like you're going to get like a little bit of a fresh start. So before I get into all of that, I want to say thank you. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you to all my subscribers for doing what you do, sharing, rating, reviewing, all of that. I greatly appreciate it. It really keeps me coming back here week after week. If you are new to the podcast, remember to subscribe. That's right. Click, smash, lick, stomp on that like button, all right? Super important to me, means almost nothing to you, and it really does keep me coming back here week after week. So be hitting that subscribe button, all right? Other things you can do is set the alarm so you know when all the new podcasts upload, share, rate, review, and of course, leave comments in the comments section. All of that helps the podcast grow, and I need your help to do it. If you want to follow me, I'm on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. I'm on there every week, almost all week, giving out some extra content. And if you want to follow me, that's Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. And if you want to get involved with the podcast, that's right. You have questions, you got comments, you got a story to tell. Well, then you need to send it over to the official email, talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And if you put slow down in that subject line, you're going to get an opportunity to win some free slow down merch. So send whatever you want to talk about over to the official email of the podcast. That is talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And with all that out of the way, let's get into today's episode. As you can see, I hung my New Year's Eve banner. Yes, because it's going to be a new year. Happy New Year. You know, who's out there looking forward to 2022? I know I am. That's because my 2021 started off so shitty. And, you know, Tyler got COVID, and I had to stay home because of it. And, you know, I spent the new year in quarantine. Yes, quarantine. And I'm so glad it does not look like it's going to be happening that way again. But who knows? These surges are out of control. But here's to hoping it's nothing too crazy to really worry about, you know? Without getting too much into it, from what I've heard, is that this could potentially, this strain of COVID could potentially become almost a better vaccine. Because if it's not putting you in the hospital, it's not killing you, but it's giving you the antibodies to fight against the rest of the COVID, then doctors and scientists out there are actually thinking that this could be our answer. You know, once we accept the fact that we're going to have to live with this all the time, I don't think we're ever going to not have a day without COVID. I think we'll all be able to move on from it, you know, in a sense. It's all up to us now, all right? I want to try and make this a positive podcast, so it's all up to us now. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, you do that. And I think once we all understand that it's basically now, instead of just asking for consent to have sex, now you're just going to be asking people about, you know, hey, is it cool if I come over and I don't wear a mask? Or are you comfortable with me popping over? You know, I haven't been vaccinated yet. Whatever it happens to be, this is going to be the new protocol to hang out with people, I believe. And we're just going to have to accept what makes us feel comfortable and what doesn't. And you have to accept what makes others feel comfortable and what doesn't. And I think that's going to be the key. Not the vaccines, not any of the other crap that they keep telling about us about, but being healthy, taking care of yourself, exercising on a regular, getting your weight down, and then checking in with the people that we want to visit and seeing what they're doing and just ask. I think just asking is going to be the key. You know, if you're unsure, you ask, and if they're like, yeah, come on over, then you come on over. Or other times you may get the I don't think so. So my 2021, I was in quarantine. I was staying home. I was burning up a ton of vacation time, and I do not want a repeat of that. So I'm pretty excited about the new year. I have my worries about the new year as well. I don't see the increases going down. I don't see, they keep telling us that gas prices are going to go down. This is going to go down. This will come back. And it's like, at the end of the day, do you actually think that they know whether or not those things are going to happen? They're just telling us stuff because we're all sitting here going, oh my God, this isn't going to go down. What do we do? And then they're getting on the news and they're like, don't worry about it. Prices are going to go down. This is going to go down. What if they don't? They have no problem lying to us about everything else. I mean, all the college kids that didn't get their $10,000 off, they just extended not having to pay instead. And it's like, well, that was the basis for everything. That was one of your main arguments, and now you're not following through with it. So how am I supposed to believe anything that they tell us when everything that they tell us, they never do it? Every president, every election, everything, it's always the same thing. Promise, 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 promise never kept. Shit gets worse, and then they move on, and then the next person lies to us and gets in office and does the exact same thing. So I think this is the way we can get through this together without them. We just talk to one another, accept that none of us are going to think the same. So whatever makes me comfortable is not what makes the next person comfortable. And just do whatever you can to be safe. And I just think we need to talk more about getting healthy. It's not a fat shaming thing, but hey, if you already know, then this is the time to take care of it. Now is the time, not later. But I wanted to say that first because, I always kind of get into COVID and how things bother me and how I feel about this and that. But at the end of the day, this thing's here to stay. So we can only put so much effort into it. I think we need to put more effort into ourselves now, working out, getting healthy, eating right, and then taking the proper supplements and vitamins to help protect us from this in the first place. And then on top of it, doing all the other things that can help protect us, whether you want to or not. If you don't want to, that's fine too. I just hope that you're healthy and taking care of yourself. But at the end of the day, if you've already had COVID and you're taking care of yourself, well, then hopefully you're doing better than I am, taking care of myself and only vaccinated. But I don't know. I was looking into boosters and stuff like that because now I'm eligible and everybody's asking. And I came across something that said that they're only good for 10 weeks. And that's where I draw the line. I'm not going to do this every 10 weeks. I'm just not. Figure it out, do better, and when you do, I'll probably be up for it. But as of right now, I'm not getting a shot every 10 weeks. That's kind of crazy, and I don't think it's right now for me. But it could be right now for you. So if that's something that you're doing, then that's fine. But yeah, so my year of for 2021, what I think it went pretty well. I have to say, overall, it got off to a very rocky start, but it progressed, and I don't think that this year was all bad. I spent most of 2020 and all of 2021 correcting all my mistakes that I've made financially in my life, from drinking and not caring and not paying attention. So, I talked to a friend, and I was talking to him, and he was like, "Oh, well, every time I talk to you, you got stuff going on. I like, why do you always have so much stuff going on?" And I go, "Cause I just, you know, you you really can't expect to clean up after so much stuff, you know, years and years and years. What, 20 some odd years? I've been screwing up, drinking, not caring, spending credit, doing this, doing that, digging holes, getting loans, not paying them back. You know what I mean? I think we've almost all done it. You go to the bank to ask for a loan. You say you're going to use it for X, Y, and Z. Then you get the loan. And then all of a sudden you're like, I don't have to pay that back. It wasn't like signed in stone or etched in stone that I had to pay this back, but they gave me the money. So there's a few other things I want to do instead. And then you do those things, and then you don't pay off that debt, and now you're paying for the debt and the stuff that, you know what I mean? So those were the things I was doing. Just stupid decisions. When you go to a bank and you get a loan, use the loan for what you set, why you did it. If you went in there to consolidate your credit cards, then use that money to consolidate your credit cards. That's what you did. That's why you're there. That's why they gave you the money. So stick to it, because you did that so that you could pay the loan payment because it was cheaper than the credit cards. So don't get the loan to pay off the credit cards and then use the loan for stupid shit, because then you have the credit card minimum payments that you couldn't pay in the first place, and now you have a loan payment that you have to pay back as well. And this is how I dug my holes even deeper, right? So I was talking to him, and I'm like, yeah, I got a couple more moves left, and then I should be done. And he's like, well, how far? And I'm like, well, it's 25 years worth of debt, so you know, it it's up there, but it's half of what it was 5 years ago. You know, and, come April, I'm going to be pretty happy, hopefully, because we should be able to take care of a few more dents. And then I'm going to let the credit union take care of the rest of the dent. And that's what's really changed for me, is that, like I said, I was getting loans. I was not paying off the cards, or I wasn't using the loan money for what I was getting it for. And restructuring myself, figuring out my finances, really, really digging in, and being off of alcohol has made the tremendous change. Not only did I have the drive I've always had to fix everything, but now I had the clarity in my mind to help. And with both of those together, I'm where I am today, you know? And I got I got some hope for 2022 that it's going to be better, you know, but that's only if I can get everything in order and make everything as smooth as possible, because who do we really know if it's going to be better? Do we? I really don't. Tyler was reading a thing today. He's like, "Oh yeah, gas prices are going to go down." Are they? They can tell me whatever they want, but until I walk up to the pump and I've seen the price drop and stay dropped, I don't really believe them, you know? So, I'm I'm not putting my trust in them anymore. I wasn't doing it in the first place. The vaccines have been all screwed up. This has been all screwed up. They can't get us testing, but if you go anywhere else in the world, we got testing. They raised the debt ceiling, but they won't. They canceled all the stimulus checks. They won't give the college students a break on their tuition or whatever, their loans. It's just lie, 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 lie. A little bit of truth. Here's what you want to hear. And then this is what's actually going to happen. So I can't live my life like that anymore. But back to 2021, it really, really showed me that if you get yourself together, things will actually come together, you know? And this goes with everything I've been saying over the last, almost 2 years on here. But in general, for the last 5 is, I cleaned out my closet. I got rid of people in my life that were not helping me. I've changed my way of thinking. I've controlled my anger a lot more than I was capable of in the past. It's still difficult time and time again, but it's gotten a lot less frequent. And then, of course, to top the year off, I had to, unfortunately, make a decision early about getting 2 vehicles. And what was the nicest part about that is that, I got it all on my own. And that was because of the hard work. So what I'm doing for 2022 is I have no New Year's resolution. That is not something that I do. I don't like them. I think they're a setup for failure. And if you look at the statistics, I don't know where they're getting those from, probably the same where they get the census or the surveys that they always take, which is, I don't know who's taking them, but they're there. They have, data. But I don't have resolutions. I make goals, you know? I used to do the New Year's resolution, and it's just a failure every time for me. You get through the first maybe 30 days. Sometimes most people don't even make it out of the first week because it's such a drastic change. And I think that needs to change, right? Because instead of making a New Year's resolution that could possibly fail. I'm not saying you're a weak person. I'm not saying I'm a weak person. Those things just have a tendency to fail. That's why the gyms make so much money. And so, that's why the gyms make so much money in January, is because everybody is like, New Year's, I'm done drinking. I don't want to smoke anymore. I want to get healthy. I want to do this. Here's what I'm saying. Those are great ideas. And in theory, it sounds fantastic. But here's the problem. You haven't been doing it. So now not only do you have to find the drive to do these things, but you also have to go to the gym. You have to have allotted time for this. You have to fit it into your schedule. So make goals. If your goal is to, go to the gym and do all these things, well, see if you can sign up for your gym for a month. Don't sign up for the whole year. Or how about right now you figure out a schedule? If you were getting up at, say, 6 o'clock in the morning, but now you want to go to the gym and 6 o'clock is like the latest you can get up, well, now you got to get up at like 5, maybe 4 to make it to the gym, to be able to do your workout, and then to be able to come home. So, and then change and go to work. So I'm not saying don't have something to strive for. I'm saying be thoughtful of what you're trying to do. Changing my diet took 1.5 years. Getting workouts in place, running took forever. But once I got into it, I just loved it so much that I couldn't really have a day without it. But I had to reconfigure my days and my mornings, and I had to get up earlier to get those things done. I had to cut out the time. I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't become stagnant in what I was doing, so I would have to change my workout routines. I would have to change the way I run. I would go for you just got to change stuff. It can't be the same thing over and over again, which is really difficult for me to say because that's how I live my life, is exactly the same thing every day, but throughout the week, the days all change. This is my Thursday routine, Monday, Tuesday, yeah, so on and so forth. So I'm not saying that you can't have a New Year's resolution. I just think it would stick if instead we all set goals and you have little goals to achieve, because I find them to be more achievable. You're going to feel better about accomplishing a little goal that eventually, after you've accomplished all these little goals, are going to get you to your main goal. You know what I mean? So try that this year. News they're great in theory. Like I said, I don't know. It's like all the other stuff I don't believe in, or I have trouble believing, or it's just you got to do what you can do. And if you can make it to the gym and you can do it and that's exactly what you want to do, then go for that. If you want to start running tomorrow, start running tomorrow. I'm not against any of that. It's just I don't think, like, if you want to quit smoking, you're not I'm sorry, but if you are highly addicted to nicotine and you've been smoking for 20 some odd years, you're going to go back to smoking. Cold turkey is like the hardest way to quit off of nicotine. And so I've seen a lot of people quit smoking and then go right back to smoking within weeks of quitting. Their New Year's resolution failed. So I think it's a great thing. It's always good to be looking to a new year as a new start. But let's try something a little bit newer. Instead of the same resolution you keep trying to fit into your life, let's change it into a goal. Maybe I smoke less cigarettes this week. Maybe I take up vaping, and now you're vaping and smoking until you get rid of the cigarettes. And then once the cigarettes are gone, then you're only vaping. Then you can get off of vaping. I've been vaping for 8 years. I don't know. I got to get off vaping now. So that's going to be a slow process. I went from 50 milligrams. Now I'm down to 25. So I'm going in the right direction. I'm just not doing it. What is the word I'm looking for? Like promptly? I don't know. I'm just not doing it all at once. I'm not going to sit there and say I'm done with vaping as of January 1st. Why? Because I'm so highly addicted to nicotine that would be crazy for me. Plus I work in a vape shop. I've already set myself up for failure. So my goal is to get my nicotine down. Then I need to get rid of some of my devices. And then once I'm down to like one device, one juice, I'm going to be so bored that I'm probably just going to quit. But those are goals. Those are goals I set for this year or for 2022. So I'm working towards the financial, getting out of this debt, getting things consolidated, getting them under an umbrella. This is what my 2022 is for me. I'm very excited about it, and I've got a long list of goals. I've already figured out the inspections and the registrations for next year. So I see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And with all this work that I want to do this year, I think, at least I hope, I've gotten to the end of the tunnel. And the end of the tunnel for me is not having to do all this work, not having to live this way anymore. And then I could probably enjoy the light and just let everything do what it's going to do until everything is finally behind me, which, if my calculations are correct, will take approximately 5 years. So you see, not setting a New Year's resolution, I'm setting goals, and I'm making a new 5-year plan marker. So I've already got a really good idea of where I want to be in 5 years. But my brain doesn't want to allow me to do a 5-year. It's telling me to do a 3-year so that we land and we get this accomplished by 45. Because I don't want to do it by 47. But I think 47 is more realistic, you know? So I don't know. I hope everybody's new year goes very well. I hope whatever you choose to do works. I just do. I don't want to see people fail, because then it's discouraging, you know? And I have the same mentality. Just use this for an example because it's the only thing I know. Is if you come in, you want to get off cigarettes, I give you a vape. I'm gonna sell you the most simplistic one. Why? Because I just want you off of cigarettes. When you get off of cigarettes and you figure it out, you'll come back and get a better device. But if all you want to do is just get off the cigarettes, why am I going to sell you a $110 mod? I'm just going to sell you a $35 pod device. Then you can buy juice, fill it up, do whatever. There's less chance of failures. And if I feel like that's even a rocky road for somebody, I'll just get you into disposable. At least there, you're getting the proper amount of nicotine, and there's nothing to think about anymore. And then, once the first battle's won, then we work the second battle. But you gotta give it time. I don't think things can be achieved quickly. I don't think anything was meant to be achieved quickly, you know? So that was how 2021 started, and hopefully 2022 has got a better start to it. Slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. That's slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. I've been telling you about these guys for a long time now, and their clothing line keeps growing. For all of you out there who want to get a new start to the new year and have a new you, you can start with the clothing. That's right. Hats, leggings, t-shirts, sweatpants, beach towels. Oh my goodness, they got skateboards and board shorts and swim trunks and hooded sweatshirts. I mean, this just goes on and on and on. The gloves are some of my favorite for yard work and shoveling. They're just amazing. And you can only get this stuff here at slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. That's slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. You want to start off your new year right? Start by slowing down. New Hampshire Vape Gallery is located at 180 Lafayette Road, Seabrook, New Hampshire, down the street from Home Depot and next to Smoke Rings, where we're open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m., and you can shop inside of our store. And if you need to, give us a call, 603-814-4171. What are you looking for? You need devices? Got the G Priv, got the Nord 4. Amazing with that leather inlay. And maybe you're looking for some supplements to put you in a good mood. How about calming you down? What about gaining some focus? Yeah, that's Hello KANNA. KANNA is an amazing succulent that has been used in South Africa for hundreds of years. And now you can get it at New Hampshire Vape Gallery, along with CBD, Delta 8, Delta 10, THCO, THCP, CBD, pre-rolls. I've got shatter coming in. I've got rosin coming in. All of these things are available at New Hampshire Vape Gallery. That's right, all of these products and much, much more. Maybe you're looking for juices, menthol flavored. We've got them. Need disposables? Also in stock. Who doesn't need an Escobar today? My number one selling disposable. So come in and see us, the guys at the gallery. That's right, New Hampshire Vape Gallery, located at 180 Lafayette Road, Seabrook, New Hampshire, down the street from Home Depot and next to Smoke Ring, where we're open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m. And feel free to give us a call, 603-814-4171. And from New Hampshire Vape Gallery to all of you out there, Happy New Year. NaturalBossNH.com. That's NaturalBossNH.com. I love this website. Love the people behind it. They are amazing, or she is amazing. And they're just great organic products. They still have some of their Feeling Roasty holiday soak left over. The body balm is amazing. The beard oil, the salve for dry skin, and of course, they still have their foot and body soak. All of these products are available at naturalbossnh.com. So go there, buy one or all 5 of these products today. All right. Yeah, there we go. All right. I had to get out of that hat. It was itching me. All right. Anyways, here's my weekly roundup. So Tuesday was great. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Got up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Absolutely phenomenal. I felt so good. I felt so good that I set my alarm purposely for 7:30 the day after Christmas. I was like, you know what? I deserve this. I don't care. I drove around for hours. I had literally nothing to do. I was like, I'm not even going to work out. I'm just going to enjoy this day off. I'm going to enjoy this Sunday. You know what I mean? So I ended up doing that. It was great. But let's see. Wednesday was editing day. And nothing too exciting there. I thought I did something, but I don't think I did. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, it was such a short week. So, all right, it was just such a short week. I'm a little foggy. Oh, it was more about jiu-jitsu than anything else because, last Monday I was talking about how I went to class, and then this Wednesday I went to class, and it was a great class, very small. There was only 3 of us. It was just awesome. This is my new rash guard my wife got me. Let me see if I can get that in the camera for you. There it is. I love it. It's a nice gold owl. I was looking for something different to wear, and so I went with this. Probably cut that all out. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so Wednesday's jiu-jitsu class was small, 3 of us. It was fantastic. A lot of hands-on, when you were running into an issue, he got to work with you. And I like that, when there's a big class, professor can't get too hands-on with everybody. And then Thursday morning, woke up, got to go to Rick's in Plastow. Amazing, amazing class. Unfortunately for me, I got tapped by a white belt twice. It was a 4-stripe white belt, so he's working on his blue belt. And yeah, they get a little froggy, and I made a mistake that I shouldn't have made, and that put me in a head and arm choke. That was it. I don't even remember what the second thing was he got me in, but I know I was very irritated at myself, and I should be, As a first-degree purple belt, I feel like do better. But we're always learning. And I've got to learn that when someone's under me in rank, doesn't mean that I'm just going to be able to take them, and I shouldn't act as if I can, right? So that's what I learned. So there's always a lesson. It's not losing, it's learning, right? And I believe that 100% because, yeah, sure, I lost, but I tapped him, but I was bummed out with myself, but it gave me something to think about and sit on. And now when school reopens on the 3rd, I'm going to go back with a clearer mind. I'm going to try and get rid of those thoughts that I had, which were, if they're under me, I can do better than them. Not true. Not true. They just haven't put as much time in as I have. Doesn't mean some of these people, plus the kid was like 20, and it's an excuse. It is an excuse, but it's a good one. When you're 20, man, testosterone, everything. 40s, I got some. It's just not quite where it was when I was in my 20s. Plus, the dexterity and the quickness, it's just night and day. It's amazing, So I give it up to him for doing it because he killed it, and he basically, when you tap, he killed me. But yeah, it was awesome. It was the first time in like 3 weeks I've been to Rick's class. So I did it. I did what I set out to do, which was to get up at 6 o'clock every day last week and then get to jiu-jitsu class and every day that I could that week. And I did. I pulled off my 3 classes, so I was very excited, And then Thursday was a crazy, crazy day at the shop. Obviously, it was the night before Christmas Eve, and then Friday shows up, and I got super pumped. I was excited. I was in the friggin' holiday spirit. I got to close at 6 o'clock, which I was so happy to do. I'm going to get a nice repeat of that this week, too, which I'm super pumped about. These are the things we look forward to. This is why we work so hard. If you work hard and you don't get time off or get to do things where you close early, it's just one of those things. You're like, I kicked ass all year, and now I get to close 2 hours early and have 1 day off. You know what I mean? And it's nice. It's an achievement. And I feel like it's earned, I feel like it's earned, and I'm just so pumped for the store. We're getting close to our mark. I don't think we're going to hit it this year, but it shows me potential for hitting it next year. So we're getting there. We're getting there, and this is, 6 years worth of work. So it's like, for anybody out there trying to change their life, please remember that this does not happen overnight for anybody. And if it does, well, good for them. But you know what? It's never happened like that for me. It's always been me getting in my own way, making everything extremely difficult, or bring me to today, where I just put in all the work and I trust that the work is going to work, So get out of work, fly home, and then I get home, get cleaned up, put everything away, boom, in the car, and we're off to Drake it. We spend Christmas Eve at my wife's dad's. It was great. We had a grand old time. Her sister's new boyfriend, they were playing 45s. It was awesome. I haven't played 45s since I was in jail. And, I had 30 days in there, so I got pretty good at it. And then I played it when I got out for a little while, and it was one of those games that I just enjoyed playing. But it just brought back so many memories. And I was like, I got to be able to play this. I played it a lot. And it was like riding a bike. There was a few rules I forgot, but once they got repeated to me, I was like, yes, I remember this now. And it was just a really, really fun time. We almost finished the game, before people started leaving, and then everybody started getting up, and then it just went to shit. But we had a great time, hanging out, seeing the grandparents, and, it was just a really nice Christmas Eve. And then Christmas morning, I wake up, do what I got to do. We're out the door at 7. We're up at her mom's house by 7:40. And then we're hanging out there, and then we leave there around 11. We had a great time, all the kids are getting their gifts and this and that, and it's just so much fun. Everything that my wife picked out was a hit, and I was very happy about that. You're always happy when your gifts are a hit, right? And so everybody was happy there. We got everything from her mom and her sister and everybody, and then we go home and I gotta get cleaned up and shaved and showered, and then boom, off to my parents for 1 o'clock. Had a great meal. I had a great meal at her mom, at her sister's too. It's lots of good food. I mean, at her dad's food was amazing. So it was just nothing but my digestives, my Anatril, and food I should not be eating for about, day and a half. But it's okay because that stuff works, and I had no issues. I had a little bit of bloating, I had some burping, but the food's amazing. And how can you say no? How can you say no? I can't, and I've learned that this diet's for me. It's not for everybody. So I've just got to take care of me at the end of the day. So I took my pills and I ate everything. I'm talking chocolate, candy, cookies, pork pies, and sausage and eggs, and oh man, there was just so much food. My parents made turkey, and it was just amazing. And then from there, hung out with my parents. We exchanged gifts. My dad liked his cologne, which I was so happy about. When you buy somebody a cologne, you're not sure. And then you don't find out if they like it until they open it. But I did get confirmation from Kohl's that if he opened it, he would be able to return it, which I was like, oh, okay, that's different. Normally, if you open up a cologne, it's yours. So I was happy about that. And I think that was because of COVID. They were like, nobody can smell them. So we do it this way now. And so he really liked that. We got my mom a Tushy, or a Lux, I should say, which is basically a more affordable Tushy, so a bidet. So hopefully they get that hooked up and they enjoy that. But it was just fun. And then we go to my sister's. We go to my sister's and hang out there till about 5. And then go home, and that was it. That was Christmas Eve and Christmas. Tell me how yours went. Did you have a good time? Did you get everything you were thinking you were gonna get? How was? All right, here's a better question. How was everybody's reactions to what you gave them? Like, I love that. Like, so many people were like, "Oh yes," and I was like, "Oh good," like. You wait for them to open it, and and so how did you do on your gift giving? How was it staying away from whatever you were trying to stay away from during the holidays? Did you find it hard? Did you find it difficult? Were you just okay with it? Maybe it was nothing out of the ordinary for you, like it was for me. My wife's everybody at her dad's house. It wasn't a smoking party this time. It was more of a drinking party, which is fine. They were already, into it, and we showed up like 2 hours, late because of work. And then her mom's house, they were having mimosas and stuff like that. And then, my parents, my dad drinks, but he doesn't drink in front of me. And then my sister's, same deal. No one really drinks at that house. So it's like not that difficult to stay away from it. You know what I mean? So how was it for you? Were you capable of doing it? Did you pull it off? Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be? Answer me. Talk to me. Send me an email. All right. But yeah, so it just went really, really well. And the memories are amazing. I have them all. We had some good laughs. Some funny things were said. And it was just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I can't ask for anything more than that today. I just can't. My wife wanted to get me some stuff, and I was like, you can if you want to. So she got me exactly what I wanted, and I appreciate that because I don't need much, right? Really don't. I mean, once you hit a certain age, this doesn't mean as much as it once did. It means a lot to the kids. So, the first thing that I always attack when it comes to Christmas, how many kids? What are we getting them? Is it going to be awesome? Because that's what I want. I want them to have the best time. And then if we're getting gifts for everybody else, what are we doing? Is it actually going to be fun? Is it going to be something that they're going to do? Is it going to be something they're actually going to use? And you just break it all down, and then you do the best you can. And you see what happens. And, it was really nice. But my wife, got me exactly what I needed. And then I got her a whole bunch of stuff that she needs and she uses all the time. So I was like, see, there you go. I was like, it doesn't have to be crazy. I know this Christmas got really screwed up with the cars and everything else, but just think about it. Next year, if everything goes according to plan, which it won't, but if we get close enough to where I want to be, should be a better time. Should be a better time, easier time, and we should be able to probably do a little bit more. But who knows what this year is going to bring, I'm not saying this is going to be the best year ever. I think it's definitely going to be better than 2021, but could something make that go sideways? Possibly. And then Sunday, just relaxed. I got up late because I told myself I could, right? Driving around, Christmas, all of it. And I was like, I'm just gonna sleep in, get some rest. And then I'm gonna go grocery shopping. I'm gonna do all my stuff like I always do. I know, boring, repetitive, but I did not prepare for snow. Yeah. So I wake up Sunday morning, let the dogs out, and boom, there's the snow. And I was like, no. Ran over to the window, and yeah. I mean, not only was it snow, there was water underneath it. So a lot of it in the driveway just looked, like water. I was like, oh, shit. So now, get up an hour and a half late, got a shovel, still got to do everything. I was 2 hours behind all day. I was so angry, but I was not that like I wasn't losing my shit angry. I was more of just beating myself up inside for being like, "Oh, you can sleep for an hour and a half, can you?" I'm like, "Obviously not," but I did, and so here we go. So I got all that done, and then me and my wife were watching TV, and I put it on Hulu. Because why? Because Letterkenny came back. So we crushed those 6 episodes. It was really good. It's funny. I love that show so much. If you're just getting into it, 10 seasons, really good. But when you're actually up to date with all the seasons, when they drop half of it, you can burn through it so fast. But they did 6 new episodes, and then we finished that. We then went and watched on HBO Max Matrix Resurrection. I liked it. I thought it was really good. Without giving too much away, there's a nice little twist to the Matrix that I found extremely interesting. I love the fact that Neo and Trinity are back. Everybody else seems to be a younger version a younger version of them old selves, but even though it's not them, but the characters have similar characteristics of the old. I liked where the story went. I like how they explained everything. Uh, uh, I like how they tied all the movies together without you having to watch all the movies. That was nice. But I do have to say that they could have done a little bit better with the ending, but it wasn't horrible. It just really screams something else is coming. I was like, because I don't know. I didn't feel like the movie ended. I just felt like we were going to a break. Uh, so, but 2 hours and 27 minutes, and few little twists that I didn't see coming. Overall, very, very good movie to me. But I'm a super, super Matrix fan, so my opinion may be biased or is biased, 100%. I've been watching Matrix since it came out. I've loved the concept of it. I mean, when they were supposed to do the prequel and they only released a cartoon, I still bought into that and watched that. So I've been a Matrix fan for so long that I was like, I need to see where they're going with this. And where they're going with it, they can go almost anywhere with it now. So we'll see where it brings us. But we are, I think the only thing, yeah, this is fine. The one thing that I did notice was that, they said it had been 60 years since the last one. So it's 60 years later from the last Matrix. So I don't remember what that one was called. But anyway, so Monday, I'm here, I'm recording. Tyler came over, we worked some good open guard stuff, and then going from spider to triangle, and I was just something to work on, just to do something. I'm like, this, it helps me retain it. I was trying to do a couple other moves, and then as soon as I realized I couldn't remember how to do the move, I was like, yeah, we should just move on to something I can remember, because why am I going to try and do something I have no idea what I'm doing? I'm just going to teach myself incorrectly. So I could get from close guard to open guard to spider to triangle, without thinking. I guess that's the way I want to put it. It's like I do have to think while I'm doing it, but my body, my natural body movement will get me there, because it's something I've done, in class many, many times. It's just that it's not always exactly the way I want it to be. So I like drilling certain things so that we can, really get them stuck in our mind. I'm nowhere near to a teacher, but I do know certain things, and I do know what my professor told me I was doing really well at. So I don't know. We just had some fun, worked some stuff out on the mats, and then now I'm up here recording and having a grand old time, and getting ready for the new year. Just getting ready for it, I'm excited. Hopefully I get to continue going to work and I don't have to lock down, I know Omicron is everywhere. Tyler was just telling me he knows like 5 or 6 people with it. That's all you're hearing about. They canceled how many flights? How many? They canceled thousands of flights, and over the last 2 days, they've canceled over at least 600 more. It's nuts if you're trying to travel right now. I don't suggest it at all. But again, they're doing it because the workers are getting sick. So they don't have anybody to assist, right? Which is just crazy to me, It sucks that they're sick, but I don't think they're going to die. They're just sick. All right, so real quick, I wanted to talk about this. This is KANNA. And if you don't know what KANNA is, I'm going to go over it. So this is Hello KANNA. Let me hold this up. So you got a focus pack, happy pack, and a calm pack. You've also got the party packs. And I'm going to kind of quickly go through this, but I wanted everybody to get a little bit more aware of what this stuff is. It's an alternative products you can feel. With the interest of discovering new alternative holistic wellness supplements, the foundation of discovery always begins with narrowing down any possible alkaloids that may produce an effect. Development of Hello KANNA began in April 2019 in response to the growing popularity of natural and herbal remedies to lift mood and treat depression and anxiety. Scaculum tortuosum, otherwise known as KANNA, has been used as a natural mood-altering substance in South Africa for over 300 years. Hello KANNA is guided by the team of brand marketers and experienced professionals from the active ingredient product development space. We are dedicated to assisting Gen Z, millennials, and Gen X consumers with their mental well-being. We believe no matter what race, ethnicity, background, gender, consumers have the right to feel confident and happy in their own skin. KANNA is a succulent plant originating in South Africa. The main alkaloid present within KANNA that acts as a selective selenium uptake inhibitor, or SSRI, ooh, sound familiar? Is inhibitor is membrane. Hello KANNA uses an extract powder to concentrate the amount of active alkaloids found within our product. KANNA is a stimulant, and along with providing a substantial mood lift, KANNA can also assist with appetite suppression. Appetite suppression is good. And libido enhancement. Moderate doses can even cause a little euphoria. This amazing medical plant has been used traditionally for hundreds of years as a natural mood-altering substance and will also ease stress, boost mood, enhance cognition, lift libido, and increase energy. So different products, different opportunities, same active ingredient. The world's first party supplement. I've talked about these a few times, but I did want to get into a little bit more detail. Super powered by KANNA. It's got B vitamins, liver support, electrolytes, caffeine. These party caps are awesome. They are awesome. And getting into the KANNA packs, you have the Focus, which basically I was told this is like what's that stuff that everybody's taking? Adderall. This was amazing. Boy, did this help me focus on Wednesday when I was when I was editing my podcast. And then you have Happy Pack. Happy Pack is like an antidepressant. Works amazingly. And then the Compact is, as you can see, I haven't tried it yet, is to help you with your anxiety. And I do have to say, I used to be on a high anti-anxiety medication that had lots of side effects and possible, permanent ones. And once I got myself where I am today, I don't have as much anxiety anymore. So I don't find that to be as important. But for me, I fight with being happy and I fight with being focused. I don't fight my anxiety. But sometimes I get anxiety because I'm unfocused. That it just happens. But I've learned to deal with my anxiety to the point where I can breathe through that. Because I know it's just a little bit of being overwhelmed, All right, so let's get into today's current events. Yeah, current events. We got a couple quick ones. I wanted to keep it fun for the new year because there's going to be plenty of stuff. It's just never ending. It's never ending, and it's all negative all the time. Russia's building this. North Korea wants to blow this up, or, Russia's stepping in on some. It's just one thing after another. All the COVID talk, all the tsunamis and the fucking hurricanes and the tornadoes and climate. Oh my God. All right. So I just wanted a break from it. You know what I mean? So let's have some fun. An 1875 almanac book and coin were discovered in time capsule found in the pedestal of Robert E. Lee's statue. Ooh. So this is pretty cool. Let's see what they got to say.
Tedious work. And yes, opening a 134-year-old time capsule is time-consuming, too. The task was shared among conservators from Virginia's Department of Historic Resources. For more than a century, this time capsule sat buried in the base of the statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee in Richmond, Virginia. It was discovered Friday morning, months after this historic moment in September. Crews dismantling the statue's base found what appeared to be a copper box, as described in the Richmond Dispatch back in 1887. The list of articles in the copper box was said to include dozens of items, including a battle flag, compass, 12 copper coins, even a picture of former President Lincoln lying in his coffin. But it turns out this capsule was made of lead, heavily corroded, and partly covered in mortar. The box itself is an artifact, so they had to take care to preserve that too, using tiny spatulas, tongue depressors, and
a very controlled tool that vibrates and has a hard metal tip that is much more easily controlled. It's good for getting the mortar separated from the lead.
Finally, late this afternoon, the time capsule was unlocked. Inside, 3 books, a cloth envelope, and a single coin.
I saw one book that's an almanac from 1875. There was another book, I saw the word love on it, and the author Burgwyn, B-U-R-G-W-Y-N, so I will let the historians take further look at that and figure out why that's in there.
In the end, there was no picture of Abraham Lincoln in his coffin. And even more puzzling, along with the 1887 almanac was a book that appeared to be published in 1889, 2 years after the time capsule was apparently sealed.
The original time capsule was supposed to be put in there closer to 1887, and so something published in 1889, obviously, that is, we will have questions, and that's where the historians come in to help us.
And John, in terms of the condition of the items inside, most of them were pretty wet, so now they plan to freeze them so they can stop them from getting moldy or deteriorating any further. But the big question, John, is this the right time capsule, or is there possibly another time capsule out there? Because the newspaper clippings from that time, from 1887, say there should have been 60 items inside, and there were only 5, and there certainly was not that picture of Abraham Lincoln. So now we'll have to rely on these historians to figure out what is going on here, John.
The truth is out there.
The truth is out there. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. I thought that was really neat. I don't agree with tearing down the statues and all this other stuff, but I understand why it's being done. I just think we can learn more from our history, but at the same time, if we didn't tear down this statue, we would have never found this time capsule. So that's kind of cool, you know? And I wonder how accurate that Farmer's Almanac is, because now you can look back to what happened in 1875, because I'm sure they documented it somewhere, and you could probably, you know, check that almanac out and see how accurate it was. You know, do we do that today? The Farmer's Almanac comes out. Tell us what the weather is going to be like. And does anybody ever go back to what it said to see if it was correct? Or do we just all read it and then go, it's going to be like this, and then that's it? And whatever we get, and then somebody writes another Farmer's Almanac and it happens all over again. Does anybody ever go back and check those? I don't. So I was wondering if anybody else does. My next one and my last one, but they found a perfectly preserved baby dinosaur discovered curled up inside its egg. Right? Isn't that crazy? To find a dinosaur egg and to have the dinosaur in the egg. Now, this video, I'm hoping, tells us a little bit more. It does say that a dinosaur expert gives Anderson advice on hunting for new dinosaurs. So we'll see what happens.
What's so amazing to me about this is, we live in this world where we feel like we know all there is. We feel like everything, to have been discovered has been discovered. But the idea that you can still come across something extraordinary like this, someone can find a fragment in 2004 and then, it can lead to this extraordinary worldwide discovery. It's so amazing. Do you have any advice for amateur dinosaur hunters out there? Or kids who are watching
funnily enough, when I was a kid, when I came into the
like
museum, yeah. Well, when I was a kid coming into the museum at the age of 12, I was told by my mentor that you'll never find dinosaurs in Australia. You may as well buy a ticket and fly to North America to study dinosaurs. And so 20 years later, and here we have this amazing fossil record of dinosaurs. So it was kind of a challenge to me to work with these communities out in Western Queensland to go, hang on, you guys in the States don't have everything. We've got to have some big dinosaurs too. So my advice to anyone who's interested in dinosaurs or paleontology as a kid is that go for it. It's a fantastic career. It's not something that you go into it for the money, but certainly it's something for the passion and excitement. It's an amazing experience to unravel a world that no one's ever seen before. And you're the first human on Earth to actually understand what these animals look like. And then you get to present it to the world. And you can nickname them Cooper and have Anderson Cooper get you on CNN.
It's not totally egotistical. I would have done this even if it wasn't named Cooper. I just find it an amazing, amazing discovery. And also such a cool reminder that, there's still a lot about our world we do not know and don't understand. And there's new things, just waiting out there to be discovered.
Yes, there is. That's what I find to be so cool. There's always new discoveries, This is never going to stop, and the more we keep looking into everything, the more stuff we're going to find. Just like I hope we find more stuff in our ocean, because if we treated our ocean like we treat space, we've got some aliens down there. We got some stuff that I was looking at, it was an article this morning of a parasite that eats the tongue of what it is feeding off of, and then it inserts itself. The parasite eats the tongue and then inserts itself where the tongue was and just lives there. And I don't remember if this was like a sea turtle or a fish or what it was that I was reading on. I just couldn't get away from the fact that I was looking at a small parasite looking back at me, and that thing had eaten that thing's tongue and replaced its tongue with itself. Now, I don't know how that works. I don't know if that thing's got a numbing agent. If something was eating my tongue and then tried to replace itself, try to replace my tongue with itself, I'm pretty sure I'd be freaking out if I went to go brush my teeth and I had something with eyes looking back at me as I opened my mouth. But it just goes to show you there is so much going on this planet that we don't know about. Did you know about a parasite that just eats tongues and then sits inside the mouth of whatever it did that to? And it's like, oh, now I just wait for it to think it's hungry, and I'm just going to eat whatever it's trying to eat. What the hell, dude? So I think that the dinosaur egg is really neat. I'll scroll down here and give you a bigger visual of this. But you can see right there the dinosaur curled up, right? And it's all fossilized, and I think that is just incredible. And again, seeing this dinosaur in its egg, you can see how bird-like it is, right? So maybe this was a pterodactyl. I mean, this is why you're starting to see dinosaurs, instead of being these scaly lizards. Now they're thinking that they are more birds, more feathers, bright colors, stuff like that. So we've actually changed the way we think dinosaurs were because of evidence that has been found. Well, I mean, since I was a kid. So that's 35 years. So in 35 years, now they're starting to think that dinosaurs were closer to birds than they were lizards. It's pretty interesting if you think about it. Will we ever actually get to the answer? I don't know, but I thought this was so neat. I mean, it's 70 million years old. 70 million. You know? I've been working with dinosaur eggs for 25 years and have yet to see anything like it, said Zielinski, co-author of research that published in journal iScience on Tuesday. I mean, everybody's blown away by this, and this is something that they redid. The egg still got the embryo and all this stuff, and then this is reality. But as you can see, the tip of the nose, but it looks like a beak, right? Closer to a bird. So really, really neat. Now there's an illustration done up of what it could have looked like while it was alive. And I mean, it doesn't look that much different than a chick. Isn't that crazy? So I thought that was really neat. I wanted to really stay on a positive, happy note for this new year. All right. I know I had a few things to say in the beginning, but I think that goes without saying. Like, we just need to treat each other with respect. I think we need to understand one another. And if somebody doesn't agree with something you say, or you don't agree with something that somebody is doing, and I'm not saying stealing or beating somebody up, I'm saying the way they take care of themselves. They don't want to get vaccinated. They do want to get, whatever it happens to be, we need to be more understanding of what makes them feel safe or better, or what they feel is going to help them with their life. We just need to be more understanding with each other. That's the message, people. That's the message. You got to worry about yourself and less about others. And then the people that you do choose to worry for, you can't force them in a direction. You can only lead them. All right? But that's it. That's the podcast this week. Real quick, put the hat back on. And I just want to say thank you to everybody again for subscribing, watching, everything that you do. It really keeps me coming back here week after week. So again, thank you so much. And if you're new to the podcast, remember to subscribe, hit those like buttons, share, rate, review, and leave comments. That all helps the podcast grow. And I appreciate your help in doing that. If you want to follow me, I'm on social media. That's right. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. Again, that is Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. You can go there, follow. I'm there every week, almost all week, trying to give you some extra content. And then, of course, if you want to get involved with the podcast or maybe win some slow down merchandise, well, you got to send an email. You're going to send it over to talkinwithtopher. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. Put slow down in the subject line. Put whatever you want to talk about in the body, and send that email over to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. If I pick it out and we go over it, you're going to get some free merch. Isn't that exciting? I think so. So with all that being said, that's the end of the podcast. All right. Thank you so much. It's been a great year doing this. I can't wait to do more episodes next year. I got some plans for next year. I got some sound effects I'm working on. I have got a lot to do next year, you know. We're always going to be doing better, but right now we're going to say goodbye to 2021. So be nice to one another. I hope everybody has a wonderful and happy new year. And as always, I will talk to you later. Yeah. Happy New Year. I'll talk to you later.